Hello everyone, welcome back to Silver Tears Tarot and welcome to today's reading. So we're going to jump back into the stream and see what wants to come out for us today. Of course, it will be a general reading as always for this collective, so it won't resonate with everyone and it shouldn't resonate with everyone, but if it does resonate with you, then by all means, take a look at some of the other videos. Think about subscribing, maybe think about hitting like. So in our recent ones, I'm just jumping right in because this is like it's as we go, it's like it gets a life of its own. We did that soulmate snapshot. Our last reading was that soulmate snapshot, and it just kind of showed that back and forth. They had this back and forth energy going on, not just with the way they treat you, but also with the way they feel inside. So I use the example something like, they'll be drawn toward you and get all the way to writing a note, but then they can't hit send. Then they'll have this wild moment and they'll hit send, but then they'll start to cycle and they'll disappear again. So they feel really confident when they start out, but then it turns into kind of this smaller impact by the time they get all the way to you. So I feel like let's go ahead and we're just going to jump in, and we're going to jump in as usual with that energetic and emotional backdrop and the energy that's going on between the two of you. And so that's just kind of where we'll start things off. That was a big chunk for one card. So we want the Empress. The Empress in reverse. Something feels like it's going off half-cocked. It's not ready to go, but it's going. And it's like now it has to be done while you're en route. Then we've got the Nine of Feathers here. Nine of Feathers is like that Nine of Swords in the reverse, and it is reversed. So reversed Nine of Feathers is my favorite kind of Nine of Feathers because it's about the anxiety lifting rather than getting worse. So we also have the Queen of Shells in the reverse though. So there is still some kind of triggering, this is really like codependent energy actually. And a lot of times it comes out as triggered energy. It comes out as something that's maybe a little bit clingy. It feels a little bit clingy, but more codependent. Like that's the word that I would use, even though it is also got a little bit of a clingy energy to it. And it's a response one or both of you is having to this overall situation. And yet you've got this ability to kind of hang back and look at the situation and almost just see it without making too many judgments about it. And that's what this Nine of Feathers really feels like to me. It's saying, listen, I know I'm already in the air and I've got to figure out how to address this. I know that there's a lot going on, and being very honest with myself about the fact that there is a lot going on, but being very honest with yourselves does not necessarily mean that you're easily able to define everything or to be able to handle it. However, this is a very nice this Nine of Feathers is a good state of mind. That's a good state of mind for you to be in, because it just feels really solid, and you don't have to have all the answers in that state of mind for you to just be able to be successful. Okay, so you have the Knight of Pentacles, and sorry, I'm still so congested. I've had a nasty cold for the last few days, which I guess you guys are aware of. It's not gone yet. That congestion kind of seems to linger. So we've got the Knight of Pentacles in the upright, talking about you moving consistently, and this is both of you. Again, so when we look at this energy, this is very much the shared energy between the two of you, although sometimes it will weigh more heavily in one side than the other. This honestly seems pretty shared, but it may be coming out very differently. Case in point with this Ten of Cups. So with the Ten of Cups, this is a matter of understanding what you would do, like being able to simulate or think about what it is that you would do if you were faced with something that really made you happy. And this Knight of Pentacles is about moving very slowly in that direction. It is in the direction of happiness. But now with this Ten of Cups, like I was saying, it's coming out a little bit differently for the two of you, because for you, I feel like it is, it feels like you're in different places with this imagining. So for them, they're feeling like they are safely distant from having to worry about how they would actually deal with that situation. Let's see what I dropped here. Well, we have the Ten of Swords in the reverse. We have the King of Wands in the reverse. All right, there is still that drive forward for communication, and we've seen that. We have seen that coming out for you over the last few days, actually quite some time, and there's been a lot of talk of communication, but a lot of it has been working up toward that communication. So it was clear it wasn't necessarily going to happen quickly for everyone. For some of you, it has happened relatively quickly, and some of them you haven't talked to in some time. With the Ten of Swords, though, it looks like, remember in January, the message was there's going to be a communication. It'll be very important. But you got to try, it's going to be prone to misunderstanding. So see what you can do to mitigate some of that misunderstanding during the course of the conversation, because it will be tougher to do afterwards, or there's going to be, that would help you from having so much cleanup afterwards, With the King of Wands here, though, it perpetuates. So a lot of times when this comes up, we realize that, yes, there are going to be some misunderstandings, but we also see that maybe your person's coming in a little bit, not quite ready for some of these messages, maybe. And that's where I see them coming in with the King of Wands. This is pretty heavy in their energy. It's a sense of, it's that little bit of arrogance, that narcissism, that arrogance that allows narcissistic behavior to go forward. So to be clear, and to be very clear, we are not all dealing with narcissists. I'm very aware of that. And many of them, many of the people that you guys are interacting with are they're exhibiting narcissistic behaviors, but it doesn't necessarily mean they would be like diagnosable narcissists. However, it's just kind of how their defense mechanisms stack up. They look very similar. And this King of Wands is very heavy in that energy. The Ten of Swords talks a little bit about that misunderstanding, and a little bit about maybe some of the things that don't get healed, that they're moving towards you in some sort of an attempt to heal. Let's see what else wants to come out here. We got something that turned over. We have the Lover's card, but it's coming in the reverse, talking about choices. Ooh, I got to take off this jacket. I can't decide if I'm hot or cold because I've had this fever, so I'll probably put it back on again here in a minute, but right now I got to take it off. So we've got the Lovers, like I said. There is some kind of choice that can't happen right now, but it's like they understand that it can't happen, and they understand why it can't happen with this King of Swords. I feel like this is very much an awareness. It's like we've seen that Judgment card come up over and over, and this is why. It's that Five of Pentacles, that the progress that the two of you have made, okay? So you have been paying attention to your progress and kind of paying attention to yourself, observing the situation the whole time. Your person has not been as conscious of things. And so we see them shifting into a place where they are becoming a little bit more conscious of things. We also see, though, that both of you have some of the area of healing that was overlapping for both of you was that area, or has been that area, of the big three. So when I say the big three, of course, I mean the fear of rejection and abandonment and betrayal. And so you both have been working on those. And that's, again, something that's coming apart. It's happening a little differently for both of you. But you're both sort of chasing something. Like there's this feeling of chasing something that's not quite complete, or looking for something to feel a little bit more complete, looking for something to not feel like it's hanging over you so much. That came out in that soulmate snapshot too, that feeling of not wanting something to hang over you. And that was kind of the feeling that something wasn't complete, that something wasn't finished. And then we've got the Five of Swords, which, again, this feels a little bit heavy in your person's energy, but what I get from it, it matches with this King of Wands a little bit in that the methods that you might see them go through are not always going to be the best methods. So this is like a winning at any cost sort of energy. A person who feels like they kind of have to win regardless of the circumstances, and they will they'll go to great lengths to make it possible, rather than, making sure that they're doing things for the right reasons, or making sure that they're doing the right things, that sort of thing. So that's a fear energy. It's completely fear. It feels like in no way is this person trying to create a situation where they upset you further, but they are willing to sacrifice your happiness to allow for their safety. That's kind of part of what I see here in that Five of Swords. But the Five of Pentacles in the reverse here says they're aware of that about themselves, and I don't think they're very happy about it. Again, it's got that sense of the Judgment card coming in the reverse. So, and it feels like as this person moves toward you, they kind of lose steam. So they feel confident when they start out as they move toward you in the sense of communication. But then, it turns into kind of a smaller impact by the time they actually get to you. So this matches with the extended from the day before, where I had asked, so not the soulmate snapshot reading, but the day before when I was doing the extended for the previous reading. And we were asking we were looking into the communication, asking how the communication plays out and what you can really expect from it. And we found tension between the part of them that wants to plunge forward and the part that feels like it needs to hang back, And so we're checking in on that a little bit. We're going to kind of check in on that in the center section here, but this is really, what do you need to know, especially given what's happening in this energy here, because that's your energetic backdrop. So it may be, it's the energy between the two of you, but some of it is going to be soaking up that environmental energy. So this is the Strength card in the reverse. So fear's winning out. We see that here, especially with the Five of Swords. But again, I feel like there's an awareness of that. Okay, so we have the Ten of Feathers coming in the reverse again. We've seen a lot of this one in the reverse. It's the same as the Ten of Swords there in the reverse. And it is a very fearful, my pain isn't going away and I don't know how to handle it. Almost a desperate sort of feeling that comes out with that. And then they're looking back to a time when they were very happy. This is going to be relevant to you. But what's interesting about this is it's like they wish they could go back to that time, but they know that too much has happened. Like they can't go back to it. There's definitely that sense that they don't have certain choices that they wish they had. There's a lot of frustration in this energy, but there's that conflict because there's a lot of frustration in the energy that makes them just say, you know what, I'd rather just walk away from this. But then there's also the part of them that says, they don't want to walk away from it. They want to make themselves happy. They want to move toward their happiness. They've learned some things. They figured some things out. There's the Hermit. There's the Wisdom. So with the reader, this is about them. It almost feels like a Seven of Cups with the nebulous nature of some of the opportunities that are available in front of them. With the reader here, it's like really they are having a hard time reading the situation, literally having a hard time reading the situation. And it's something that they know they're getting in their own way. But again, with the healing that they've already done, with the awareness that they have of themselves, there is definitely some work that has happened here. And I just dropped some cards. Let's see. Okay, so we got the Page of Wands. They fell face up and we got a few of them. We'll see. We definitely want these. Okay, so again, your person moving toward balance. This is an honorable mention with the Four of Swords in the reverse because this is about the healing that hasn't been done and the acknowledgement of that. Even though there's the acknowledgement of the healing that has been done, the balance that is being sought, in some cases almost being achieved, kind of depends. Like they have these moments of clarity where they feel really balanced and they're feeling the benefit of having gone into that thinking cave and done some of that wisdom seeking. But they've also got this Page of Wands. So this is the thing. This is kind of the millstone around your person's neck as far as moving forward from an energetic standpoint. We see this a lot. It's almost got this feeling of a depression or something that just holds them back and holds them down almost. I dropped more. This is a day I don't feel like bending over. But they keep falling face up and they're great. Okay, so we've got the Chariot. I'm not sure how great this is, but I don't get a bad feeling from it. So basically the Chariot in the upright is about movement. It's about finding something new. It's about going somewhere. There is a very necessary tangent or a very necessary side situation that your person needs to do. So they've got a quick lesson they've got to go off and learn. It's going to feel like they miss something with you. They may actually miss something with you. This could be, so if you have, remember, some of you are going to have like a date where they don't show up or something like that. And then it's going to turn out that they self-sabotaged. But by the same token, it's because of something that they're actually learning that's going to help move them forward. And in fact, I feel like it kind of catapults them forward. So it's very important that they go through this, whatever this Chariot in the reverse is. There is something here that is like they can't move forward until they go in this little offshoot off the path. The Six of Wands, Ten of Wands, both of them coming in the reverse. The Ten of Wands is about burnout. It's about not, and they're getting, okay, we got to go to this too. And this, we're taking all the cards. Okay, so I want to start here with the Two of Wands and Temperance. This is where they are heading. As you know, if you've been watching this channel for a while, you know that your person has been undergoing some reconstruction of their underlying values and just kind of how they think about how they live their lives. And so with this Two of Wands and the Temperance card, that's mostly where we see this playing out. So the Temperance card, again, like this Balance over here, this Justice card over here, just has that sense of balance. I mean, I can't not think of it as balance. It is very much about balance, but the Justice card is about making things right. The Temperance card is an inner balance that other people wouldn't know if it was right. It's just about them getting right. Two of Wands is what they're getting right with. So with this Two of Wands in the upright, they've had to make, or they're kind of in the process of making, they're still making the shift. They've had to make an adjustment in their overall values that changes the way they see or operate within the world to a certain degree. But it's not an easy time for them right now. This is what's driving it. The Temperance, the Two of Wands, that balance, the new set of values, that's really what's driving them right now. But they're getting burned out because probably it feels like the feeling of this misunderstanding energy, the feeling of the thing that needs to be addressed, or the thing that needs to be fixed as early as possible, the damage control, the damage that needs to be controlled. They're still very much in the thick of things right now with the Six of Wands and with the Ten of Wands. What I feel like here is this is the reason why you guys wanted to get as much of the question resolved during that conversation as possible, rather than leaving questions kind of lingering. And I feel like we got to get another card here. Let me leave room for another one. I try to guess how many I'm going to need, and then you'll see me rearranging them all the time because I'm kind of like, I feel like there might be another one in there. Ooh. Let's see. I just dropped some. Oh, one is face up. Okay. We have one card that's face up. Seven of Swords. And I can't decide if it should be presented in the reverse or in the upright, but it feels more like it's in the reverse. Certainly the evaluation of it. This is your person evaluating their own level of like self-trust. So they are looking at themselves. There is some internal speculation going on right here. And here's a person who is kind of having a little bit of a reckoning within themselves right now. I think we need to when we go into the extended, we'll look into that reckoning, because they've got something really promising here with the Hermit, because it says their eyes are open, where in the past, oftentimes we've seen they're not necessarily open to the lesson. But it could be, well, I don't know. Well, let's see what happens when we get in there. If you want to go to the extended, the link will be down below. But we're going to look a little bit more into kind of this new direction that they're going and what it is that they're learning and what those changes look like. Before we do, let's go into you. The same question that I typically ask over here. What is it that you need to be focused on given everything else that is come out here on this table? And I know this is some people's favorite parts of the reading. I've had some people say that they stopped worrying about their person so much, and now they're much more focused in this part of the reading overall. I was just thinking about this card. So we've got the Page of Crystals about being open to lessons. Now, you had gotten the advice to make sure that you're open to lessons, but not saying that you weren't, just saying that you might not be properly aligned to take them in. You also have that Queen of Feathers, which is the ability to move quickly and make not rash decisions, but decisive and relatively quick decisions. We'll just say that. All right. We'll grab you another card. And then we'll jump in and start clarifying. Your energy has been so great for some time now. I mean, it's one of the things that I'm really thankful for when I do the monthly thank you readings. I find myself being amazed at your energy, about the fact that you are so resilient. You're going through what I know to be, because I too experienced this. I know this is a very challenging place, and you're in different places on the timeline, and you just keep gravitating toward that healing. And that is why I can't see removing this portion from the reading anytime soon. So we've got the Six of Acorns coming in the reverse. Feels a lot like this Six of Wands over here, where I said your person was very much still in the thick of it. So are you. Still a lot of learning, but again, you're open to the messages that are coming to you with that Page of Crystals. Oh, let's see where that one landed. Oh, landed face down. So we won't use that one, but we do have some that came up. So Seven of Pentacles. There is some place where this is an opportunity. So it looks like an admonishment, but it doesn't feel like one. You've got the Page of Swords that says, don't be afraid. And you've got the Seven of Pentacles in the reverse that says you've got a big step to take, because there's some place where you have thought that you maybe kind of always wanted to invest in yourself. You always kind of wanted to give of yourself, but then you ultimately have chosen not to out of some kind of fear. You've held back. And I think it usually looks like, oh, I don't have time right now, but look for yourself to be real relieved when you say you don't have time right now. That's how you're going to identify this fear associated with this Page of Swords. Now you have the Ace of Wands too, and the Knight of Wands in the reverse. So there may be some need for you to really kind of have a talk with yourself, because this Ace of Wands is the sort of Ace of Wands that has you potentially thinking about moving backwards, and it's associated again with this Page of Swords fear. It could be detrimental to some kind of relationship or some type of situation with the Knight of Wands in reverse. That's that same non-committal, in and out sort of energy that your person has been giving you. And what we see here with the Ace of Wands is that it's like you kind of, it almost through you have an opportunity to just not do something and not have to worry about it anymore. And I see you evaluating it and thinking about taking it. And I think that this is saying you need to look very closely at that, because there may be, that may be the sign for you to look more closely at it. There may be something here that needs to, as we see with the Ten of Pentacles, change in your life to accommodate this investment in your life that you need to make. So it's not like, I don't think it's a financial investment. It's a you investment. That's a Seven of Pentacles, and it's really kind of, it's about what are you, how are you investing in yourself? It could be as simple as you decide you want to take some lessons and invest the time in yourself, the time and the effort, but you're afraid to, or you've got other reasons that amount to excuses. So look for something, just not be hard on yourself, but be very honest. Am I doing something self-destructive? Is it possible I'm walking away from something due to fear, and that's why I'm making that decision not to? Because there's this feeling of, if you picture it, so this is one of the ways that I would recommend it. If you've got something that you're evaluating and you don't know if this is it or not, picture yourself doing it and see what it feels like. The Seven of Wands here suggests that you might feel a little bit less than confident about it, but that the good news is that's a sign, because it'll surprise you. You'll be like, wait a minute, I would think I would be quite confident with this. So why is this? And that's your sign. That's your sign to take a closer look at it and maybe think about doing it anyway. So it's not saying you must do it. It's just saying you should evaluate it, because there could be some real good in that. If not, you can wait and do it later. It's not an opportunity that necessarily disappears, but it's an investment in yourself that can help move you forward, and you might be pretty scared to jump into it. It's a great time for you to jump into it, though, with this Nine of Wands in the reverse. Nine of Wands in the reverse is saying basically that you have, again, with the reduced resistance. And you had this, I think, in the soulmate snapshot too. You have a greater understanding of what makes you happy with the Nine of Cups. With the Ten of Pentacles and the Nine of Wands, though, this is almost, it kind of turns into like a perfect manifestation type of situation where you can actually create the situation that you're looking for now. You have a Four of Pentacles, so there is still something that's kind of standing in your way, but I feel like you're going to be able to see it and understand what it is here with the Judgment card coming in the reverse. It's coming in the reverse, feeling a little bit like some of the way that it's been feeling for your person a lot of the time, where it's been coming in looking like they could see what they've done wrong and they're not happy with themselves. Same concept, lighter heart. You're able to see the things that you want to correct, that you need to let go of, but you're able to look at it in a quite lighthearted way. And so again, it's with lessons these are not easy lessons, but the way that you feel learning them under your own guidance at this point is so much better than maybe that last set of lessons that you learned that was specifically revolving around this person. And of course, not to say that the lessons revolving around this person are not still happening, but you've got a new set that has started out. And I know we need to do a soulmate reading here in the not too distant future, or at least what's coming your way. I think we may do that for tomorrow. Depends on what comes out here in the extended. Where I'm going to go to the extended now, but we're going to take a look and see what's happening with your person and this shift that they are undergoing, because we see them kind of, like I said, they have to take this a little bit of a offshoot of the road, offshoot off the path. And things do feel a little intense for them, but I feel like it opens them up. So let's kind of see what's coming next there. That's what we'll do when we get into the extended. And, so the link will be down below if you'd like to follow me there. Otherwise, I will see you again in tomorrow's reading.